Hi everyone, my name is Owen Magabinawo and welcome to HYVA, and what we do here is we show entrepreneurs how to focus on their income producing activities so that you can focus on what really matters while you delegate the rest to virtual assistants. And I'm always going out there to look for the information that I think you can use in your business and implement right away in your business. And some of you listening to this might have physical products that you need to ship to clients and customers, and how can you even outsource that process, hence basically outsourcing the fulfillment of your of the shipment and all that. And so today I have an expert, Brian Shanebackler from Integral Core, to talk to us about the process of outsourcing the fulfillment of your products and things that we have to be taken into consideration. So Brian, I want you to really go ahead and pronounce your last name, because I think I didn't pronounce it correctly. But go ahead, introduce yourself to my community.
Yeah, I'm Brian Shanebackler. The name of my company's IntegraCore.
Yeah, so we got disconnected, and so the thing we were talking about specifically is the first steps that someone who's looking to outsource the fulfillment of their products to to their customers, what they have to look out for. And I think you were saying about you have to be realistic in the sense that you have to know exactly the process. So take it from there. Sorry about it. Just go ahead.
Sure. So the first thing, it's better if you have some type of track record that you can show that you have some type of order volume. And when you're approached, so go Google fulfillment and maybe a geographic area that you want, find a list of those fulfillment companies, reach out to them. And a lot of fulfillment companies are going to be hesitant to work with small companies. So finding a company that's willing to work with you, you might have to go through a few to find someone that's willing to work with small business or
I'm
entrepreneurs.
curious though. Why is that? Why would they be hesitant to work with the small? Because most of the viewers listen might be in that situation where they're just starting out. Maybe they've been doing some fulfillment themselves, but they're not in the the big phase yet. So, but why do fulfillment companies have that issue working with a smaller company?
So yeah, I think that's a great point. So the risk. So the fulfillment company is going to be investing something in your business. So they're going to be taking time, setting up integrations with maybe your e-commerce software. They're going to be receiving that your inventory into their stocks and setting up new items. So they are taking on some risk in that relationship, and so they need to feel confident that you're going to be there, your company is going to be growing, and that you're going to be there for the long term, because it takes a lot of effort to set you up in their system, and they want to make sure that they're going to be able to make money working with you as a partner for the long term.
And so, because there is that risk, that I mean, it's a realistic risk, I guess, on their point. So, how does that small business owner listening to this be able to set himself up so that when they come across to the fulfillment company, they can show that those risks have to an extent been reduced? Is there anything that the small business owner listening to this can do to kind of reduce those risks for the fulfillment company before even approaching them, I guess?
Yeah, no, and that's why I think having being able to have some metrics to show that you are shipping orders, right? And that's why one of the reasons why it's important for you to do it out of your basement, out of your garage, and so you have some track record. These are the orders that I'm doing today. This is how I plan to grow my business. So as an entrepreneur, when you're starting a business, you're selling everybody, right? You're
Yeah.
selling everybody on your dream. You're selling your customers. You got to sell your vendors too, right? And you got to say, hey, you want to team up with me because I'm gonna grow this thing, and you're gonna want to grow with me. And so the more data that you can support this position with your vendors with, the more excited they're going to be about doing business with you.
And that's a good thing you said about data, because one of the things I'm trying to do personally is build a whole team of affiliates who are going to help to sell the product. And the affiliate manager that I'm trying to sign up, on a CPA kind of relationship with him, was like, he wants to see the data. What has been the sales I've been doing so far, and so that they can use that as a means to gauge an idea of what to expect when we able to scale this. And I guess at this point now, when you say you need data, there's so many different things that they can put in terms of data. What do you think, from this very perspective, are the key data that they need to have in place before they move to outsourcing into a fulfillment company, I guess?
Yeah. So the questions the fulfillment company would ask would be, how many orders are you doing on a daily, monthly basis? And then what's your your growth projection? Are you growing at 5% a month, 10%, 20% a month? And you can show a series of months where that growth trend is being actualized. So number of orders. What your average order looks like. So is your average order 2 items, 3 items? What the average shipping? Are you shipping air or ground? And what's the average weight, so they can get an idea of what the shipping looks like? Because there might be a lot of opportunity for you to save money working with a fulfillment house in that shipping area. So you want to make sure that you have that information. Then also SKUs, how many SKUs you have. So a SKU would be how many different items do they have to set up primary pick bin locations to pick your product for your orders. And then how much product you have in storage. Do you have 100 pallets? Do you have 2 pallets? How much space is it going to take up in their facility? So those are the the basic questions that would be asked. And the more prepared you are to answer those questions, and the better you can present your case, the more excited the fulfillment company is going to be to work with you.
So now I get the first step is really to be the one involved in this process from the very beginning, so that you can have data that when it comes to doing the research to find someone to work with, you can now give them the data. And you've told us a bunch of the different data that we need to be presenting to those people when we get to that point. So what's the next step in this process, I guess?
So then you have that data, right? You gather that data. You find some companies that you feel good about working with. You send them that data and ask for proposals from those different companies. And then looking at what their fees are. So fulfillment is typically charged transactionally. So a per order fee, a per SKU fee, a per item fee, how much space for storage. It could be charged either at the pallet or at the how many cubic feet of storage that you're taking out. So,
sorry to cut you, to stop your train of thought, because I wanted to drive home a point, because you said something which is, when you found the right companies to work with, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is we already know we have to give them the right data. We have to do the work ourselves from the beginning so we can give them the data. But like, I'm trying to look for it from the perspective of the person listening to this. What are those things does that small business owner have to be looking for in the side of the fulfillment company? Do you get the question I'm asking before we even go to the next?
Sure. I think one of the things you'd want to has the fulfillment company done work similar to your work? Are you a candy company, right? Have they done candy before? Do they have refrigerated storage? Have they done other food products? Are you a high-tech product? Have they worked with other electronics? So trying to find out if they've done things in your industry might be a good thing. What the level of experience they have in that industry, who they understand, who else they've work with in that industry. You might want to get referrals that you could talk to people and that would be similar to your company. So yeah, I think that those are all kind of questions you would want to qualify your fulfillment partner.
Okay. I just want to get that out of the way. So go ahead with the point you were making.
So yeah, then I think if you found 3 or 4 different companies you wanted to work with, I think I would compare their pricing on their pick pack and their storage fees, and then but it's probably in the shipping is where you need to be. Your shipping costs, or if you have a direct-to-consumer business, are going to be your largest cost item on your next to your cost actual products, your actual inventory, your shipping is going to be extremely high. So what creative ideas does a fulfillment company have of how you can save money on your shipping, and the company, how well they've negotiated with their carriers like FedEx or UPS to get lower discounts that they typically are going to pass along to you in some capacity. So you could get their pick pack fees might be a little bit higher, but their shipping discounts could be a lot lower, and the shipping discounts over time are going to save you a lot more. So you don't want to be kind of penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah, so we have to look at it from the perspective of what are the fees for actually doing the work to pack up and package your goods, and then also what are the actual fees for even the shipment process itself, because they're a bigger company than you possibly, they have a kind of discounts with the actual FedEx and UPS and all that, so that might even help to even reduce the cost, I guess, overall, I guess.
Yeah, the shipping discounts could be so significant that in difference of what you're paying for doing it yourself out of your garage versus what you can save by outsourcing it, you might even be able to pay for the service itself out of your shipping discount.
Oh, wow. That's a great way to look at it. And so now I guess we've looked at the 2 points before choosing the person. We've now chosen the right fulfillment company. How does the whole when you're doing it yourself, you understand what you need to do, but now you're taking yourself out of the picture and having to get someone else to do it on your behalf. Hence there's the whole management dynamics that you have to deal with. So what are those things when it comes to effectively handing over the process to the fulfillment company? What does this person have to look out for, I guess?
Yeah, so the trust, there's this huge trust, a trust that has to be in place, because when you're in our business, our clients are giving us their business to run for them, right? Yeah. And so there has to be that trust. You have to feel, have they been trustworthy with you throughout the sales process? And do you feel confident that they're going to be trustworthy with you to get your orders out on time and in the future? So I would recommend you touring their facility and meeting their employees, meeting them, checking, is their place clean? Is it orderly? Is it organized? I think that, when just going and seeing, there's a lot to that. You can tell a lot about an organization by going and paying them a visit. Not that your fulfillment company has to be located in your same town or down the street, but I think it's worth a trip to go see the people that you're going to be working with, because you're trusting your business to them.
So is that kind of like making sure that the culture of the company aligns with your own cultural projection of what you're projecting to your clients in the first place, I guess?
Yeah, and is the culture a fit for your company? But I think that just the trust and overcoming that trust and making sure that you've done your due diligence to know that you feel like you're making a good decision is all part of picking a good partner.
And so when it comes to the actual, so we're now moving past the handoff part of it, and you've established that trust and make sure that they have that cultural alignment with what you're projecting to your clients, so that, because yes, they're the ones doing the handoff. So hopefully you want to make sure that the handoff is the same as when they coming in to buy the product, they're having that same experience. So you've actually verified that now. So the process of doing this on an ongoing basis with the fulfillment company, what are those things that anyone listening so far has to pay attention to really help to, I guess, make the process more manageable or even easier, I guess?
So yeah, that's another, you just kind of, a light just went off when you were talking. Process is key. You want to make sure that your partner is process driven, right? So one of the reasons you want to outsource is because you want your partner to be the expert in what they're doing, and so they should have processes for everything. And that's one of the advantage. So if you've done it for yourself for any period of time, you'll start to know what you don't know. and out of that, when you start talking with fulfillment companies and interviewing them and visiting them, you'll learn a lot about the processes they have. And so it'll accelerate your learning ability through outsourcing. But as far as process goes, if you have an e-commerce site, there's a couple different options for integration into their warehouse management system. So you want to try to automate that process either with like an FTP or some type of API, so you don't have to worry about your orders getting from your shopping cart system into their picking and packing system. So I'd say that's one of the things you definitely want to pay attention to from a process standpoint, is that automation of getting orders into their system, and also you getting the confirmations out of that system so you can tell your customers that their product has been shipped. Another process is what are their guarantees for, or what are they operating at for, as far as same day shipping or 48-hour shipping? What percentage of their orders are going out same day? What percentage of their orders are going out with 48 hours? Just by asking that question and asking to see that they have KPI, key performance indicators, built around those metrics is going to tell you a lot about the company that you're choosing to work with.
And I understand the point of, at the time the order come off from your website, being able to automatically have a process that's going into their own system that initiates that handoff, right? And also when I guess the product has been shipped, there has to be an automatic process on their end that initiates something, a message back to your site that ultimately gets back to, I think, the clients, as to give them kind of tracking as to, expect your goods, this is the tracking code, and all that stuff. But in between that process of the handoff and then the receiving of that signal back, I'm trying to figure out, are there other processes in between that the person who's trying to outsource this whole thing has to be paying attention to? Yes, they're not doing the work themselves, but you understand my question?
Yeah. What goes on in between those two processes? Yeah, I mean, it probably seems like, I mean, that's what we do. So to the outside, it probably seems like magic that the order just comes in and then the confirmation comes.
And I'm trying to figure out the best way to answer the question, because I'm learning as you're telling me.
So we're big advocate. The system that we use in between those 2 points is lean manufacturing. So we're really big into lean and standardizing. I mean, I'm a process guy and I'm a quality guy, and so and lean is all about respecting people and the worker, and they have the best ideas, and let's give them the opportunity to improve their functions to get the job done. So that's part of our culture. It's part of our learning and growth is our lean journey. So basically, when you order the order from your manufacturers and the inventory shipped to us, we receive that inventory into our warehouse management system. You can see the inventory coming into the system via our web reporting portals. Now we have the inventory available, and so then when your orders flow in, we allocate that inventory to the orders. Someone goes to that location and picks that product for that order, takes it to a packaging station where it's packaged and then manifested in a manifest station, and then the appropriate label is applied. And so for us, that's a totally that labeling process is an automated system. So when we pull in those orders, it's already telling us what method it needs to ship, what the addresses are, and so we just scan a barcode and it prints out a label with all that information on it. So that operator doesn't have to think about that because it's all integrated. Nobody has to rekey. Nobody's rekeying any data. We're not keying any data at all. It's all pulled in automatically, and then we just print the label and apply it to it and ship it out.
And so, looking from the perspective of what you just told us so far, am I getting the sense that in each point in that whole process, what to expect from a fulfillment company is that every part you're being alerted as to what's going on for that specific order, I guess.
Yeah, so through our web portal, you can look at your orders. I mean, going through all the different steps of the process. You know, you can see from our web portal, you can see the orders are in our processes. The orders are in picking. The orders have already been shipped. You can see where those orders are throughout that process. So. You know, I call it the glass warehouse, total visibility of what's going on in the warehouse, just as if you were an employee here working here, you know. And then the other piece we have account managers that manage all of our accounts. And what that person acts as like your operations manager for your business. So if you have any questions, you have a special request, a special need, you got a human being that you can call and get them working, being your advocate within our company for your issues. And so that's the service side of the business. It's also really important. And that, you know, that's one of the things we compete on is the service side. So if you're using like Amazon fulfillment by Amazon, I mean, good luck calling somebody and requesting that an international order be packaged a certain way or something like that. Their processes are so tight that you really, there's no opportunity for that kind of that personalized service.
So I think, I mean, just so the audience listening to this understands, is in order to answer some of these questions, is giving the perspective based on how he runs his own fulfillment business. And so the idea when you're listening to this is picking out the key points so that when you're looking for someone, say you choose him or even choose someone else, you know what to expect. So the first thing now when it comes to the handoff is really making sure that you have something in place to hand off automatically to their system, and they have something automatically that hands off to your system to let you know when the order has gone through. And also you need to have kind of like a portal that you as the manager or the business owner can see what's going on in each step as to the process of the fulfillment of that specific product. So it's kind of like a web portal or whatever. That fulfillment company has to have that in place. And then the service side, what kind of service, what's the response time? Do they have someone in their company that interfaces with you directly when those times where it's not a thing where it needs to be done automatically, but you need to get someone on the phone? Do you have that in place? I'm trying to really summarize what you just said so far so that the person listening can understand the points, I guess.
No, that's great. And you know, just to kind of give virtual assistants a plug, a lot of our customers use virtual assistants to handle customer service, right? Mm-hmm. So they have somebody to actually answer the phone if somebody calls to make a complaint. They'll have a virtual assistant taking phone orders and hand keying the orders into their order management system. They'll have a virtual assistant that is kind of running the day-to-day operations. And what that does is, so by outsourcing your fulfillment, by outsourcing kind of your customer service and those day-to-day tasks to a virtual assistant, now you as the business owner, you're freed up to focus on the things that make you money, to focus on marketing, sales, new product development. Those are the things that are going to grow your business, right? You want to be working in your business, or do you want to be working on your business? So many people get caught up on working in their business when they really need to get that multiplier effect by working on their business.
Wow, I like that. And I think the whole fulfillment call interview we're doing will be amiss if we don't talk about those times where, because I'm thinking like you send all the goods over to the fulfillment company so it's in their warehouse, right? And so on your website, you're saying you have so many amounts of that specific product. And so when that product is not available anymore, it needs to be able to automatically say, okay, maybe, I guess, manage the quantity versus what you actually have in the warehouse, which is the fulfillment company's warehouse, so that you have those information in the sense that they're not ordering what you don't have available to even fulfill to them, I guess.
Yeah, and so when you're as an entrepreneur, you're out there shopping for shopping cart software, You want to make sure that your shopping cart has the ability to export these order files out to a fulfillment company. And also, you want to be able to make sure that you can update the inventories within your e-commerce system and keep them synced with your fulfillment company, so that if you do go back order on a product, that it notifies the people on your website that product is back ordered, or when the expected due date is, so that people can, that you're creating the expectation that this is going to take a little bit longer than the regular lead time on these items, which is going to prevent customer service issues, which are going to cost you ultimately more money.
Definitely. And so what have you found that maybe really works because I'm sure entrepreneurs listening to this, they've run into that issue. And what have you found that really helps to make sure that that issue of back order and, not availability of the product instantly, what have you found helps to really mediate that whole thing even more?
So that goes back to working on your business, not working in your business, right? So you should be managing to making sure you're not stocking out, right? You should be looking at those types of things, not taking every single phone call or putting a label on every single box. I mean, your business is not going to be scalable or sustainable unless you have the process. You've outsourced these processes. As your company starts to gain momentum, you're going to need these processes in place so that you can focus on cash flow. You can focus on, when do I need to order? This is my lead time from having these manufactured in China. This is my lead time right now. I'm projecting I'm going to be stocking out, and I need to place a reorder here. Those are the types of things that you should be focused on as the business owner.
And it makes total sense, because if you already did all these things before and you kept track of certain numbers, to an extent, you kind of get a gauge as to, okay, when inventory gets to this certain amount, okay, maybe it's now time to replace an order. So really getting back to working on the business and keeping track of the key numbers that make sense. Not only just the profit in this case, but now you're thinking about the numbers in terms of at what point should I make a reorder of my product so that we can ship that to the fulfillment house so that we don't ever have a break in transmission, I guess.
Yeah. And the most successful entrepreneurs we work with are the guys that get systems in place, the guys that are focused on the most important things in their business, such as cash flow, such as marketing, such as product lead times, and making sure they have product so they don't go back order and don't lose sales. And they usually do that through an outsourced team.
Definitely. Man, this interview has been really wonderful because, I mean, I'm just here learning a lot of things. And one of the things I come across, especially with clients, is, trying to figure out how can they outsource this whole process of fulfillment, because they're tired of, handling the whole process themselves. And that's why I said, let me get you on the call, and you've been wonderful so far, giving us some good information. And I'm curious, just so that anybody who is probably going through that struggle of trying to, figure out, maybe how to really hand over this whole process to a fulfillment house because they've been doing it themselves. What's that one thing that maybe we've not talked about so far that you think can really get them, ignited on that process of really, handing it over to somebody else, I guess?
So I think a lot of people get caught up that they have to write every handwritten note card and that they have to have a bow. They get so caught up in making sure their baby, right, is every package that goes out is like their baby, right? And that's just not a scalable business model. You know what I mean? You're creating a job for yourself. You're not creating a business. Is your goal to work 12 hours a day shipping packages and answering phone calls, or is your goal to live the 4-hour work week, lifestyle where you've got everybody else working really hard for you and you're just managing that? Which one of those two do you want to do?
Definitely. So I guess if the answer is the one that is the 4-hour work week, or even close to maybe even 8 hours, I mean, your own realistic number of hours, then you have to go to this route of really taking time to systemize everything and working with people who can help you out by even having systems of their own that they can integrate with your system and basically have this, I don't know how to say this, but make the systems make love and just get the results to your clients.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely, man. Brian, I really enjoyed this interview. How best can anyone listening so far get a hold of you, I guess?
Yeah, I'll give you my my email. My email is Brian, Brian, at integracoreatlanta.com. You can look us up on Facebook. I'd encourage you to and look up IntegraCore Atlanta on Facebook, and I post a lot of stuff about entrepreneurs, what's going on in our industry, and you can just kind of keep track of us on there.
Thank you very much for doing the interview. I really appreciate it.
All right. Good luck to you, and good luck to all those watching out there.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed today's interview. And before you go, I want you to do me a favor. I'm trying to build my community of entrepreneurs who find my content useful on Facebook so we can engage, have discussions live right there on Facebook. And to get to my page on Facebook, you go to www.facebook.com/HYVASSISTANT. And again, it's www.com. What am I saying? No, it's www.facebook.com/HYVASSISTANT. And when you get there, what you're going to do is look for the a button that says like, and you click on that button, and then basically you become a fan of the page. It's that simple. You don't even have to leave me your email. Just click on the button that says like. And again, the page to go to is www.facebook.com/HYVASSISTANT. And that stands for HYVAssistant. Real easy. I look forward to seeing you on Facebook. Have a great day.